Bricks and Minifigs is your one-stop shop for all things LEGO. Hit the link below to find a store near you. Hey everyone, Joshua Hanlon here, and today we're checking out this incredible LEGO Super Smash collab here at Brickworld Chicago. Got a couple of the contributors here with me, so if you want to introduce yourselves, then we'll check out all of these amazing builds.
Sure. So my name is Casey McCoy. Great to see you guys again. I'm a builder from the Chicagoland area, and I was one of the 3 admins behind this Super Smash collaborative project. So here on the table today we have, I believe, 10 stages representing various different types of stages from the game, but they're all in Ultimate anyway. So we have builders from Canada, from Norway. I don't have a full tally of how international it quite was this time around, but we had, I believe, around 40 people in total. Some people couldn't make it, some people shipped their builds in and things like that. But as far as character count, I want to say it's somewhere around 90 for the full roster in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and we have all 90 represented from the game. So the lore is that about 11 years ago, 2 other builders that you've probably featured in the past, Dan Church from K-Lug, who lives in Wisconsin, and Nick Jensen, who does a lot of replica stuff. He's from the Chicagoland area. We had a collaborative, so to speak. It was really, I think, Dan who did the majority of the work, because he built the stage, and then I think we just supplied the rest of the characters. But we displayed Peach's Castle from the original N64 Smash game. We had it up in the LEGO store 11 years ago, I want to say. And because New Hashima was doing its 10-year anniversary, we bumped our 10-year anniversary back a year. So in order to celebrate or whatever, we opened it up to our lugs and the whole Brickworld Discord to try and fill out the roster, because building 90 characters would be insane between 3 people. So I did a little bit, but I am kind of a Smash normie, and if I had to provide any character-specific information, I would get, or you would get, I would say, a bunch of comments. They'll be like, this guy did not correctly, point out this character's deep lore, or something to that effect. So I have somebody who's actually competent at doing that, and I have an excellent builder from Iowa Lug who goes by TE, and he will walk us through all the various details. You'll want an actual expert to talk about it. I just, ran the show behind the scenes. So.
We scoured the whole state of Iowa to find an expert.
Yes.
Yes, it is quite barren. It is just in the middle of nowhere. That's where I am.
So if you want to, introduce yourself, and then we'll go through kind of each of the scenes we have here.
Hello, I am Tara Ender. I build a lot of space stuff. I also go by TE. Okay. But I've grown up playing all 5 Smash games, and I know the characters quite well. I played in tournaments from Melee to Brawl to Wii U to now Ultimate. So
I love that. So my knowledge of Smash is very limited. So if we want to, we'll just kind of start in the left corner here and kind of make our way through the rows of builds, and you can take us through each scene.
Yep, we'll start with that top row. We got Pit, we got the Shantae Mii outfit, we got Pac-Man, we got Dark Pit, and then moving on to the next row, down below it, we have King Dedede, Pikachu, Olimar, and Lucas. So that is a wonderful selection we got. It is brilliant to see that we had all these people with different styles and whatnot. Even though we had different shapes and sizes, they didn't all quite match. They all brought so much personality to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that takes us to our first kind of building part of the layout.
Yep, so on the left you got Cloud Strife. Up above you got Steve from Minecraft. Down below you got Simon Belmont from Castlevania. And on the right, on the tower, you got Bayonetta.
Mm-hmm. And then what is the kind of level that they're playing on there?
So this stage is Hyrule Castle from the N64 game. It is a lovely setting from Legend of Zelda.
And next up we got another row of 4 characters.
Yep, we have the character Sephiroth, and right next to him we got Palutena and Sora from Kingdom Hearts. A last-minute addition that was actually built here at the show was Ho-Oh from Smash Melee and Pokemon. And then we move on to Pokemon Stadium 2, which has Inkling on top. We have Kirby in the middle. We have Fox from Star Fox on the right. And floating off on the ledge on the right, we have Princess Peach floating on back, but using her parasol to safely make it back to stage.
And the design of this stage is fantastic, especially kind of the Pokeball there, kind of sunk into the middle looks great, but then even the subtle kind of lighting around the edge is great.
Yes, our member Dan, he did a great job with the whole thing. He went above and beyond, getting every last little greeble on the edges of the walls. and even adding lighting, the background spotlights, and then the screen in the background with just some running footage, so that way it matches the in-game setting of the big screen.
And then what's next down the line here?
We have our big logo that was, I believe, made by Casey himself. And then we have another group of characters. In the background, we have Banjo-Kazooie being whipped by Richter Belmont. A little bit more of a dynamic pose for both of those. On the top row, we got Pichu, we got Villager, Isabelle, and the Ice Climbers, the two at the very end. And then starting on the next row, we got Richter Belmont again, but he's a little stiffer. We got a Pokemon named Pyukumuku, and we have the next playable Pokemon, Greninja, and then a Yellow Yoshi, and the goofy and glorious King K. Rool.
Something that's really unique about Smash is you kind of get all of these different, I guess, IPs sort of involved in it once.
Yes, you do. I believe they're up to just 40 plus IPs for just the characters alone, and then it goes beyond for stages and all the extra items and whatnot that goes in the background. But moving on, we do have the Congo Jungle from Smash Bros. 64. We have Donkey Kong and Ness there on the left. We got Star Rod that's fallen in the middle, just an item you can pick up at any time. And then we got Bowser, I think, starting to suplex Yoshi. So hopefully Yoshi can make it back from that.
I love the style of this. It has such sort of like an animated like video game feel to it, with just the textures of the way that the parts were put together here, and I think that looks fantastic.
Yep, Casey did an excellent job getting that very flat style that was in the original game. And he was once again building this last minute almost here at the show. But we were all worried it was going to fall over because it's super unstable, but luckily it has not fallen yet, and it's been gloriously standing this whole time. Really good showcase of a lot of techniques. Down below we got Falco, and we have Byleth from Fire Emblem. Right next to her, or right next to him or her, we have Ike from Fire Emblem as well. And then we have the glorious Princess Peach's castle built by the lovely Matt.
Not smooth at all on this one. Maybe the most studs showing of any build here at Brickworld.
Indeed. But the way he layered the plates, it allowed for a little bit of green to show through and have some mossy texture every so often when you get just the right angle. It is very well done. He got a custom printed sticker for the front glass there. And yeah, he did an excellent job overall, just using some classic techniques that we've seen in the LEGO community for a long time, but then modifying them so they looked even better now.
Yeah, I love the way the roof was done with kind of the tiling on top, and then kind of the sloping down to the edge there looks great. And then of course you've got these characters. Especially love some of the dynamic poses here that are really great.
Yep, on the far left we have, starting with Diddy Kong making it back onto the stage, and looks like Mario's going to try to stop him with a fireball. And so that's having a fun little cluster on that side. We got Toon Link jumping down with his sword, ready to drop down on Ivysaur and the Pokemon trainer. And then just below all of that, we do have leftovers of Squirtle and Charizard, which can be swapped out at any time.
And that brings us down to the lower level then. So if we start out front here with this train build, what do we have happening here?
So this is the Spirit Train from Legend of Zelda series. It is a very cool and dynamic track. And we have, starting on the right, we do have Daisy, moving up to Min Min, Wii Fit Trainer, and Bowser Jr. on the front.
The Wii Fit Trainer is such a bizarre character in the midst of all this color.
It really is, but I was really impressed that they got all the posing down just so that it could still be doing yoga in the middle of a frantic fight on top of a train of all things.
I love the colors on this train here, and like it looks like the pearl gold kind of tracks are great.
Yes, I love the build of this. They did a great job making sure that like everything popped, everything was clean and smooth, and then it captures the train so well in the fun of the whole build.
And then what are these characters behind it here?
So we'll start with the top left. We got Mega Man, we got Kyoko, we have Shulk, we have Lucina, and then on the lower level we have Little Mac, Ridley, and Robin from Fire Emblem.
Fantastic. Moving on to something completely different is this big yellow thing.
Yeah, this big yellow thing was actually built by me, and I had a blast building this thing. I was happy to add it to the last minute, well, kind of last minute selection once I built my characters. This is the Yellow Devil from Mega Man. So this will be one of the few builds I take home with me and not just assemble. So I love it to death.
I love the shaping on that. Getting a lot of those rounded shapes is not always easy with Lego, so it looks great.
Why, thank you. It was a lot of tedious work on studio, rendering it in 6 different directions and then slowly whittling away till the plates matched up and I could properly put snot on the inside.
And then a whole bunch more characters down here.
Yep, starting again at the top left, we have Hero. We have Pyra from the duo Pyra Mithra. We have Ryu from Street Fighter. Next to him is Kazuya. Down below we got Terry. And then to his left we have Ken, also from Street Fighter. And then we have Samus and Dark Samus from Metroid.
I especially love the amount of paraphernalia, I guess you'd call it, with this character here. Weapons, shields, there's a lot going on there.
He has a lot of magical and medieval garb on him. He's got a brilliantly designed sword. I'm not sure if we quite fully repaired him, but it's all right. He still looks glorious, and he's ready to kick some butt.
And before we go on to the level back here, what are these two characters?
On the right, we have Link in his new Breath of the Wild attire that was updated for the recent game. And next to him, we have Zero Suit Samus. Very agile character and ready to kick butt as well. But up above, we got the Mario Maker stage, which is very playful. The stage will kind of repair itself over time with the big hand coming in with the stylus, doing whatever it can to fix what the fighters have destroyed. Top left, we got the Mii Brawler, who's getting ready to chase down Sonic. Unfortunately, his legs aren't working right now. We'll hopefully get those fixed very soon. And then up top, we have the Mii Gunner, next to a lovely mushroom. And then to her right, we have Incineroar and the Mii Sword Fighter.
And a little bit of movement down here in the lava.
Yep, Bethany was able to do a great job with some extra movement. We're unfortunately no Sonic, but yes, the lava bubbles are moving up and down, which is a great little effect to bring some personality to the overall thing.
And the inclusion of the hand is just fantastic here, and it's so unexpected when you're looking just through these builds, and all of a sudden there's just a wonderfully sculpted hand.
Yep, the hand is so well done. It's just it's like we're looking at a real hand. It's so good. I'm so happy they pulled it off. The tan works well, and the curved plates work well too.
Next up is just a master class in kind of like floor design here with this level. So multiple levels going on. What's happening here?
So this is the stage I built last minute. Casey called me up and was like, "Hey, can you build a stage in 2 weeks?" And I'm sure I can. Yeah. So I pumped this out in 5 days to get it just right. It was one of the simpler stages, and then I went crazy with the floor pattern. This is Castle Siege from Fire Emblem, and it's a bit rickety, but it held up and it made it here. It used up the last of my red and dark tan, but I'm happy I was able to make something in such a short period of time. On top of it, we have the fighters Lucario up top, and then just below him we have Captain Falcon doing a glorious, iconic Falcon Punch. And then we have poor Mithra is hanging to dear life on the ledge. Hopefully going to make it back up. Dodging the Falcon Punch, though, so good on her. And then on the other platform, we do have Mewtwo, which I think is one of our best ones we have. It's brilliantly shaped and very well done with such a limited part selection for that color.
How did you get that floor design in there? Because you've got all those kind of great cross sections going on.
I just realized I had a lot of 1x4 bricks in red, and I just started laying them down and thought the tiles would make a great way to space them out. And then it just came down to getting the edges a little cleaner and then using some panels to raise up the jumpers so that those could be flush with the whole build.
And that takes us to some more characters in the back here.
Yep, starting on the left, we have Rosalina. We got Ganondorf on the back row and Piranha Plant to his right. Then down below, we have Luigi. We have Dr. Mario and a little bit more stilted Banjo-Kazooie.
There we go. And then just a solo character here before the next level.
Yep, we got young Link just hanging out on his own. He'll be all right. He'll find an adult soon. But moving up, we have the Cloud Sea from the Xenoblade series. On top, we got Jigglypuff singing her song. To her right, we have Rob the robot flying away. And then bottom left, we have Sheik, who I believe is charging needles right now, just really, really posing it up to get ready for, just throw some knives at people, of all things. Below them, we have Chrom from the Fire Emblem series. And then
The design of this level is super cool, almost like a great steampunk vibe here. So can you take us through some of those different elements going on there?
Yep, there's a lot of machinery on this island. I'm not too well aware of the game itself, but the builder did a phenomenal job just adding every last little detail of the machinery and every last little bar, pulley, barrel, etc. They chose one of the variants of the stage. The other one has a big dragon head coming out of it, but I think a lot of us agree that this one turns out a lot cleaner without trying to figure out the creature.
I mean, it looks fantastic. And that takes us to some more characters down here.
Yep, starting on the bottom row on the left, we have Corrin from the Fire Emblem series, Joker from Persona, Wolf from the Star Fox series, Roy, and then right above him is Marth. They are both from Fire Emblem as well. There's too many Fire Emblem characters. It happens. And then we got Duck Hunt, adorable little dog with a bird on his head. Then we're moving over to the Pilotwings stage, a lovely classic game. But on top of it, we got, starting on the left, Zelda shooting a fireball at Snake, who has just come out of his box. I think he probably should have stayed in it for some safety. Well, maybe. And then we got Game & Watch. He's a little hard to see on the black background, but he's standing still. He's doing great in 2D. And then down below, we have Meta Knight hiding on the lower wing. Lovely design on the mask, getting the slits through the eyes. And the plane has a lovely feature of the propeller spinning.
Yeah.
Propeller, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I'm not a big plane guy. I'm not a big boat guy. I don't want to mix things up.
No, you're doing great here. And then the whole runway and everything, but it kind of throws you for a loop because the plane is facing away from you. But I assume that's how it's set up in the game.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, the plane is flying away. I know a lot of builds we love to see are either from the side or from the front, but no, for once we do get a plane from behind. And I was happy to see that he has a Technic figure that is in the cockpit, so that was a nice little detail, and it fits the scale quite well.
A real deep cut on some old Lego kind of figure scales there.
Indeed. And it once again shows how well everything is compatible in Lego.
And then what are these final builds at the end?
The last one in the back we have is the Blue Falcon. It is Captain Falcon's signature vehicle in his race game. So it is awesome that we were able to get that as an extra in here. And then down below we have the Smash Bros. Home Run contest where you try to throw a sandbag as far as possible by just smacking it with a bat. And it goes for miles. And we got Wario all warmed up, teed up. He's ready to use the bat, and he does hold it with his mouth. That's Wario. He's a goofy guy. And then we have our custom logo that was also built for this with the Smash logo with the fire behind it.
Yeah. What an incredible layout here, and the fact that there were so many builders involved, and then the fact that you kind of were able to capture so many of the characters in a game with just a crazy number of characters. That's just really, really amazing to me. So I love that there were so many people that were able to be involved here. To kind of finish it out for us here, do you want to point out maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite details on some of these characters? I know we went through a lot of them fairly quickly, so are there any ones in particular you want to point out to us?
Yep. I don't know if it's the nature of Rob, but his shaping is just perfect. He's a robot, so it's all just angular anyways, but...
Which one was that here?
That'd be this one right here. It just like all the angles came just right. It might just be due to the fact that he's a robot himself, but it works so well in Lego, and I want to give props to the builder on that one. Mm-hmm. I want to give another shout out back to the Mewtwo. It just the way he got the pose of him holding the Shadow Ball ready to throw it and still make him stable is just incredible. We have great builders all around. Yeah. Like Casey said, there were about 40 of us, so to coordinate that must have been madness for him and the other two. So it was great to see those. We also have good things like the shaping on Greninja in the back on the bottom layer. The frog, he's in his dynamic pose on the ground. Very spindly, but they made him work. I love that.
Well, thank you so much for taking us through all of these builds here. And yeah, again, shout out to all of the builders involved. Super cool. And I think, Lego with the different colors and things lend itself so well to this type of building. So really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.